வாகை சூடவா.
Good morning students. In this class we are going to see the dual nature of matter and radiation. As you all know, radiation means electromagnetic waves. They have wave property. We are going to see the dual nature of radiation in this class. The radiation possesses particle nature also. To explain the particle nature, in this class we are going to see the photoelectric effect. Let's move on to the topic. Photoelectric effect, Hertz and Lenard's observation, Einstein's photoelectric equation, particle nature of light. Let us have a quick review of this concepts of this topic. Photoelectric effect, Hertz observation. Hertz first became successful in generating and deducting electromagnetic waves. When ultraviolet light is incident on the metallic sphere, the electrons on the surface are emitted. Photoelectric effect by Lenard's observation. When UV light falls on the negative plate, the electrons are ejected from it, which are attracted by positive plate. On reaching the positive plate through evacuated bulb, the circuit is completed and current flows in it. So what is photoelectric effect? The photoelectric effect is the ejection of electron from a metal plate when illuminated by electromagnetic wave of suitable frequency. The experimental observations of this photoelectric effect can be analyzed. The results of this experiments only we need for the NEET exam. So let's move on for the 4 graphs to analyze the experimental results of the photoelectric effect. The first graph is a graph drawn between intensity of incident light and photoelectric current. Here we are going to keep the frequency and the accelerating potential constant. Light intensity is proportional to the number of electrons emitted per second. The number of electrons emitted per second increases, the photoelectric current also increases linearly, as we can see in the graph. So the photocurrent, the number of electrons emitted per second is directly proportional to the intensity of incident light. Note, intensity of light means brightness. A bright light has more intensity than a dim light. The second graph, the effect of potential difference on photoelectric current. The anode potential is taken along the x-axis and the photocurrent is taken along the y-axis. Here the frequency of incident light is kept constant. For an intensity of light I1, when the anode potential is positive, current increases and reaches saturation. When the anode potential is made negative, at a particular negative value called stopping potential or retarding potential, the photoelectric current becomes 0. And that is same for the intensity I2, I3. When I increase the intensity, the photocurrent increases, but the stopping potential remains the same. The stopping potential is the negative potential given to the anode to stop the electrons in reaching the anode is called stopping potential. Here the kinetic energy maximum is equal to the work done to stop the electrons in reaching. So we can say the kinetic energy max equals half mv max square is EV naught. Here we know the value of E and M. When you substitute the values, you will get 5.93 into 10 power 5 root V naught. So kinetic energy maximum is EV naught. Thus, for a given frequency of incident light, the stopping potential is independent of its intensity of light. Maximum kinetic energy of photoelectron is independent of intensity of light. The next graph is effect of frequency on incident light on stopping potential. Here the frequency of the light is varied, keeping the intensity of incident light constant. When you vary the frequency, the stopping potential also varies. We have a stopping potential V1, V01, minus V01, minus V02, minus V03 for nu1, nu2, nu3. Here nu3 is greater than nu2 is greater than nu1. So when greater the frequency, greater will be the stopping potential. But the saturation current remains the same. So the stopping potential is independent of intensity, but it is directly proportional to frequency. So between the stopping potential and frequency of incident radiation, another graph is drawn for two different metals, metal A and metal B. Here there is a minimum frequency called threshold frequency. Below a certain frequency called threshold frequency, no electrons are emitted. Stopping potential is 0. If the frequency is increased above threshold value, the stopping potential varies linearly with frequency of light. So in the graph, we have drawn the graph for two different metals, but they have different threshold frequencies, but the slope is same. They are parallel lines. So from this graphs, we can come to the conclusion of the laws of photoelectric emission, which you have already learnt. So let us recall this law in a quick way. Number of photons emitted per second is directly proportional to the intensity of light. The maximum kinetic energy of electron is independent of intensity of light. Maximum kinetic energy of electron directly proportional to the frequency of the incident light. There is a minimum frequency called threshold frequency nu naught. If nu is greater than nu naught, the photoelectric emission takes place. It is an instantaneous process. These are the laws of photoelectric emission. Let's move on to the particle nature of light. According to Einstein, light energy is not spread out as wavefront. Instead, concentrated small packets called quanta, which is given by E is equal to h nu, where nu is called the frequency of the light source. Quantum of light has momentum, which is given by P is equal to h nu by c, where c is velocity of light. Light quanta can behave as a particle. This is called photon. Particle manifestation of light is nothing but photon. So based on this, we are going to see the Einstein's explanation on photoelectric equation, which is one of the important concepts for us to solve the NEET problems. Einstein said when a photon of energy h nu is incident on a metal, the energy of the photon is absorbed by the electron in the metal. So there is an interaction between the photon and the electron in the metal. When you have 3 photons, 3 electrons will come out of the metal depending upon the energy. So the number of photons is directly proportional to number of electrons that comes out of the surface. That's what we call it as an intensity of light. According to Einstein, suppose if I take only one photon of energy h nu is utilized in 2 ways when it falls on a metal surface. When it interacts with one electron, this energy, incident energy h nu is utilized in 2 ways. One, pulling the electron from the metal surface, which we call it as a work function. The energy needed for the electron to come out of the metal surface. The remaining energy is given to the electron for moving as kinetic energy, which is half mv square. So we can say the energy of incident photon h nu equals work function plus kinetic energy half mv square. In case of photoelectrons are emitted with 0 kinetic energy, that means the incident energy equals threshold, incident frequency equals threshold frequency, then h nu naught is equal to phi naught. The phi naught is called the work function of metal. If you substitute this in the above equation, we get h nu, substitute this h nu in the above equation for phi naught, we will get h nu equals h nu naught plus half mv square. This is Einstein's photoelectric equation. Now, when you rearrange this Einstein's photoelectric equation, change in kinetic energy or kinetic energy max equals h nu minus h nu naught. Take the h out from this equation, we will get h nu minus nu naught. If nu is greater than nu naught, that is threshold frequency. When the frequency of the incident light is greater than the threshold frequency, then only photoelectric emission takes place. The kinetic energy, change in kinetic energy or kinetic energy maxima can also be written as h c by lambda minus c by lambda naught, because as we know nu equals c by lambda. So we substitute here. Lambda naught is called maximum threshold wavelength, whereas in frequency we say that is minimum threshold frequency. When you talk about wavelength, we call that as a maximum threshold wavelength because frequency and wavelength are inversely related. If the incident wavelength is less than or equal to the lambda naught threshold wavelength, the photoelectric emission takes place. So, change in kinetic energy or kinetic energy max equals Hc 1 by lambda minus 1 by lambda naught. When we do the numericals, instead of using Hc, when you have to convert this Hg into joules, we have to divide this by 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 to convert this into electron volt. Instead of this, we can use a constant value in all the numericals to do the simplified manner the problems. Hc equals 12,400 eV Armstrong. H is 6.6 into 10 power minus 34, C is 3 into 10 power 8 by 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. Instead of doing this calculation in each and every sum, we can use the value of Hc as 12,400 eV Armstrong. Determination of Planck's constant and work function. In this graph, if you extend the line, we get work function of the metal and the slope of the curve gives you h by E. As we know, K max equal to h nu minus nu naught, EV naught, K max is EV naught, so we can substitute in the equation EV naught equals h nu minus h nu naught. So V naught is equal to h by E nu minus h by E nu naught, where h nu naught is nothing but work function of the metal. So when you substitute, you will get V naught is equal to h by E nu minus phi naught by E. Y is equal, this is of the equation of the form y is equal to mx plus c, a straight line. So the slope of the line indicates h by E. From this we can get the Planck's constant, h equals E into slope, and the y-intercept is minus phi naught by E. So phi naught is equal to y-intercept into E will give you the work function of the metal. Let's move on to the formulas used in this topic. Energy of the photon, E equals h nu equals hc by lambda. Number of photons emitted per second, n equals power by energy. Momentum of the photon, P is equal to mc equal to h nu by c, h by lambda. Equivalent mass of the photon, m equals h nu by c square. Work function, phi naught is equal to h nu naught, which is hc by lambda naught. Work function is in joule or electron volt. If it is an electron volt, to convert this electron volt into joule, multiply this by 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 joules. If you want to convert joule into electron volt, divide by 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. Einstein's photoelectric equation, h nu equals phi naught plus k max, h nu equals phi naught plus k max, h nu naught plus k max. Kinetic energy of the photoelectron in Einstein's photoelectric equation, k max minus half mv max square is equal to ev naught, where v naught is the stopping potential, unit is volt. Kinetic energy maximum equals h nu minus phi naught, which equals h nu minus h nu naught, which is equal to h bracket c by lambda minus c by lambda naught. Take hc as 12,400 eV Armstrong when we do the calculation. Let's move on to the numericals. The first sum. The figure shows stopping potential V and frequency nu for two different metallic surface A and B. The work function of A as compared to that of B is option A less, option B more, option C equal, option D nothing can be said. See the graph here, it is a graph between the frequency and the stopping potential. As we know, this value is called threshold frequency for metal A and this is for threshold frequency for metal B. Threshold frequency of A is less and threshold frequency of B is more. Work function is directly proportional to threshold frequency. So the work function of A is less and B is more. So the value of threshold frequency nu naught for A is less than that of B. Hence, the work function of A is less than that of B. So the answer A less is the correct answer. Let's move on to the second question. If a photon has velocity c and frequency nu, then which of the following represents its wavelength? Option A, h nu by c square. Option B, h nu by c, h nu. Option C, hc by E. Option D, h nu by c. The answer is hc by E. Let's see how the answer is hc by E. As we all know, the energy of photon is equal to h nu, which can be written as E is equal to hc by lambda. Rearrange this equation. We'll get lambda equals hc by E. So the answer option C equals hc by E. Let's move on to the next problem. The third one, the work function of a surface of a photosensitive material is 6.2 electron volt. The wavelength of the incident radiation for which the stopping potential is 5 volts lies in the infrared region, X-ray region, ultraviolet region, visible region. Here the question is the wavelength lies in which region? So we should know what is the wavelength range. Visible region is 4000 to 7000 Armstrong. Ultraviolet is less than 4000 Armstrong, whereas infrared is above 7000 Armstrong. X-rays in the order of Armstrong, 1 to 10 Armstrong. So let's see in what range we get to get the correct answer. The answer is C, ultraviolet region. So let's see how we get this ultraviolet region. As it is given in the sum, work function of the metal is phi naught is equal to 6.2 electron volt, and stopping potential is also given in the question, which is 5 volt. So from the stopping potential V naught, we know the kinetic energy maximum is EV naught, so which is equal to phi EV. So the kinetic energy maximum is phi EV. So we know the kinetic energy max and the work function of the metal. From this, substituting in Einstein's photoelectric equation, h nu equals phi naught plus k max, we can get the energy of incident photon, which is 6.2 plus 5, which results in 11.2 electron volt. So energy of incident photon can be written as E is equal to hc by lambda. We have to calculate the wavelength of the incident light. So which is lambda is equal to hc by E, which is 12,400 eV, as we already learnt. Wherever we get hc, we are going to use the value of 12,400 eV Armstrong. So eV Armstrong by 11.2 eV. So if you simplify this, you will get 1107 Armstrong, which lies in the region of ultraviolet, which is less than 4000 Armstrong. So the answer option C is correct, which is ultraviolet region. Next, we'll move on to the fourth question. Question number 4. The number of photoelectrons emitted for light of frequency nu higher than the threshold frequency nu naught is proportional to threshold frequency, intensity of light, frequency of light, nu minus nu naught. As we saw in the concept, we know the number of electrons emitted for a light of frequency nu is proportional to intensity of light. Intensity is proportional to the number of electrons emitted for a light. So the option B is correct, intensity of light. Next, move on to the fifth question. The figure shows a plot of photocurrent versus anode potential photosensitive surface for 3 different radiation. Which one of the following statement is correct? It is a competitive exam 2009 question. So option A, curves A and B represent incident radiation of same frequency but different intensities. Option B, curves B and C represent incident radiation of different frequencies and different intensities. Option C, curves B and C represent incident radiation of same frequency having same intensity. Option D, curves A and B represent incident radiation of different frequencies and different intensities. Now, if you see the graph is drawn between anode potential and photocurrent. Here, as we already saw, when the stopping potential is same, the frequency is same. When the saturation current is same, the intensity is same. So, we can say here the stopping potential for A and B is same, not equal to C. Whereas the frequency of A and B are equal, which is not equal to the frequency of C. Whereas intensities, if you take the intensity of IB and IC are equal, which is not equal to IA. So now let's see the option. Now the first option is the correct option because the curves A and B represents incident radiation of same frequency. Stopping potential is same but of different intensities because their saturation currents are different. So A and B represent radiation of same frequency because their stopping potential is same but saturation photocurrents are different. Therefore, their intensities are different. So the option A is the correct option. Next, we'll move on to the Question number 6. In photoelectric emission process from a metal of work function 1.8 electron volt, the kinetic energy of most energetic electron is 0.5 electron volt. The corresponding stopping potential is option A 1.8 volt, option B 1.3 volt, option C 0.5 volt, option D 2.3 volt. In this, the question is only what is the stopping potential. The most energetic electron kinetic energy is given in the question. This data work function is not at all necessary for us. It is for us to mislead us. So you can ignore the work function of the metal. Work function 1.8 electron volt. As we all know, the stopping potential V0 is related to the maximum kinetic energy of the emitted electron, as we already learnt. The kinetic energy max equals EV0. So 0.5 EV equals EV0. So E on both sides will get cancelled. So the V0 equals to 0.5 volt. So the answer is option C, 0.5 volt. Next, we'll move on to the next question. When monochromatic radiation of intensity I falls on a metal surface, the number of photoelectrons and their maximum kinetic energy N and T respectively. If the intensity of radiation becomes 2I, the number of emitted electrons and their maximum kinetic energy are respectively. Option A, N and 2T. Option B, 2N and T. Option C, 2N and 2T. Option D, N and T. Here, I falls on a metal surface, maximum kinetic energy as T and the number of photons as electrons as N. As we all know, the intensity is directly proportional to the number of photoelectrons emitted, but the intensity, the maximum kinetic energy does not depend upon the intensity. So when the intensity of radiation is increased to 2I, definitely the photocurrent will increase, the number of photoelectrons will increase, but the kinetic energy will remain the same. So here this becomes 2N. Whereas the kinetic energy will remain the same as T. So the answer is 2N and T. The number of photoelectrons ejected is directly proportional to the intensity of incident radiation. Maximum kinetic energy is independent of incident light but depends upon the frequency of the light. Next sum. Photons with energy 5 electron volt are incident on a cathode C in a photoelectric cell. The maximum energy of emitted photoelectron is 2 eV. When photon of energy 6 electron volt are incident on C, no photoelectrons will reach the anode A. If the stopping potential of A relative to C is option A plus 3, option B plus 4, option C minus 1 volt, option D minus 3 volt. The answer is minus D, minus 3 volts. Let's see how the option is minus 3 volts. Here the first data given is the photon with the energy 5 electron volt incident on a cathode gives a maximum energy of photon is 2 electron volt. From this we can calculate the work function of the metal from the photoelectric equation as we know. Using this work function of the metal, it is given the energy of incident photon. When you subtract, you will get the kinetic energy, maximum kinetic energy. From there, we can go for a stopping potential. So first, you should know what is given in the sum and how to proceed. So the given data is the energy of incident radiation is 5 electron volt. The kinetic energy max is 2 eV. So the second radiation of frequency, incident frequency is 6 volt. What is its stopping potential is the question. So according to Einstein's photoelectric equation, maximum kinetic energy of photoelectron K E max equals energy of incident radiation minus phi naught. So which is 2 equals 5, which we substitute from the above given data, 5 minus phi naught. So the phi naught is equal to 5 minus 2, which is equal to 3 eV, where the second data, the kinetic energy maximum dash equals E dash minus phi naught. The work function will be the same because on the same photosensitive surface. So E dash is given as 6 electron volt and phi naught is 3 electron volt. So when you subtract, you will get 3 electron volt. So minus EV naught, the kinetic energy maximum is minus EV naught is equal to 3 electron volt. The negative potential, that's why we use minus EV naught. So V naught is equal to minus 3. So the answer is minus 3 volt. Let's move on to the next question. When the energy of incident radiation is increased by 20%, the kinetic energy of photoelectrons emitted from a metal surface increased from 0.5 electron volt to 0.8 electron volt. The work function of the metal is, this is a question in the competitive exam 2014, and the option A is 0.65 electron volt, option B is 1 electron volt, option C is 1.3 electron volt, option D is 1.5 electron volt. The answer is option B, 1 electron volt. Let's see how it is 1 electron volt. It is given here, the incident radiation is increased by 20%. Increased by 20% means h nu is the incident frequency. Increased by 20 means 120 by 100, which is 1.2 h nu is the increased incident energy, 1.2 h nu. So the kinetic energy changes from 0.5 to 0.8. So we take the two equations. First, as we know the Einstein's photoelectric equation, K equals h nu minus phi naught. For the first case, K is 0.5 and 0.5 electron volt is equal to h nu minus phi naught. For the second case, K is 0.8 electron volt and the h nu is incident radiation increased by 20%. So 120 by 100, which is 1.2 h nu minus phi naught. If you solve this two equation, we'll get the result. To solve this, take the first equation, multiply this by 1.2. This will result in 0.6 EV, which is equal to 1.2 h nu minus 1.2 phi naught. So subtract the equation 2 and 3. It results 0.8 minus 0.6 is 0.2. Here the 1.2 and 1 h nu will get cancelled. So here you'll get 0.2 phi naught. So phi naught is equal to 1 EV. Next we'll move on to the next problem. A source of light is placed at a distance 50 centimeters from a photocell and the stopping potential is found to be V naught. If the distance between the light and the source and the photocell is made 25 centimeters, the new stopping potential will be option A, V naught by 2, option B, V naught, option C, 4V naught, option D, 2V naught. This is a competitive exam 2013 question. This was a question from 2013. The answer is B, V naught. Here, by changing the position of the source of light from the photocell, there will be change in the intensity of light. It is 50 centimeters to 25 centimeters. It is reduced. So, as you reduce this distance, the intensity of the light will change. But when the intensity of the light changes, it has no effect on the kinetic energy or the stopping potential, as we already saw. So as a stopping potential is independent of intensity of incident light, hence the stopping potential remains the same. So the answer is option B, V naught. Next we'll move on to the next question. The 11th question. The photoelectric threshold wavelength of silver is 3250 into 10 power minus 10 meter. The velocity of the electron ejected from a silver surface by ultraviolet light of wavelength 2536 into 10 power minus 10 meter is approximately. Here it is given in the question, H is 4.14 into 10 power 15 EV and CE is 3 into 10 power 8 meters per second. They asked you to take this value, means you should use, because the H is in terms of EV, not in terms of joule. So we should use only this value. Here, this is a question from 2017 paper. Now the option A is 0.6 into 10 power 6 meters per second. Option B 6 into 10 power 3 meters per second. Option C 0.3 into 10 power 6 meters per second. Option D is 6 into 10 power 6 meters per second. The answer is, there are two options for this question. If there are two options, both the options will be given a mark, so don't worry about it. Whatever you find it correct, you write it in the paper. So the option A is 0.6 into 10 power 6 meters per second and D 6 into 10 power 5 meters per second. Let's see how both the options are correct. So what are the data given in the question? First we should see. So the first, you know that the lambda naught, that is the threshold wavelength is given there. The threshold wavelength is 3250 into 10 power minus 10, which can be written in terms of Armstrong, because when you do in Armstrong it is easy to do the calculation. So 3250 Armstrong. So the lambda value is, the lambda is the wavelength of light, ultraviolet light is 2536 into 10 power minus 10, which is equal to 2536 Armstrong. The kinetic energy maximum is equal to h nu minus phi naught, which is photoelectric equation we know. So here the nu can be written as c by lambda. So hc by lambda minus hc by lambda naught, where hc can be taken out. So when you take the hc out, you'll get 1 by lambda minus 1 by lambda naught. As we already learnt, we can substitute for hc to do the simplification. When we do the numericals, it is easy to simplify the sum. So here h is given as 4.14 into 10 power minus 15, and c, as we know, the velocity of light, which is 3 into 10 power 8 meters per second. When you multiply this 2, you'll get 12.42 into 10 power minus 7 eV, which can be written as 12, because 10 power minus 3 into 10 power plus 3 will result in 12,420 eV Armstrong, which only we approximately take it as 12,400 eV Armstrong. So here half mv square is equal to 12,420 bracket 1 by lambda. 1 by lambda is 1 by 2536 minus 1 by lambda naught, which is 1 by 3250. So when you simplify this bracket and multiply with this, it results in 1.076. Here the v square is equal to, bring it in the denominator, 2, you take it in the half, 1 by 2. So it becomes a product in the numerator. So when you multiply this, it results in 2.152 by mEV. Here we have to convert this EV into joule, because velocity should be in meters per second. So to convert this electron volt into joule, we already learnt EV is equal to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 joule. So multiply by that. So 2.152 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 divided by mass of electron, which is 9.1 into 10 power minus 31, which is equal to 2.152 into 1.6. The powers alone you just simplify. If you simplify the power here, it is 10 power minus 19. This 10 power minus 31, when you take it up, it becomes plus 31. When you add with this, it results in 10 power plus 12. That is more important, because the numbers, when you simplify, approximately when you multiply this 2, it results in 3.2. Square root of 3 is 1.732. We can take approximately, divided by 3 will result in 6. So the answer is 3 values are in 6. So no need to simplify the numericals, only see the power now. So it comes around 6. So when you take the square root, you get only 6. So the square root of 10 power 12 is 10 power 6. So 6 into 10 power 6. This is correct. If you write this as 0.6 into 10 power 6 or 6 into 10 power 5. That is, this results in 0.6 into 10 power 6 or 6 into 10 power 5. 6 into 10 power 5. When I divide by 3, I get 0.6. So I write this as 0.6 into 10 power 6, because square root of 10 power 12 is 10 power 6. Or give one power to this becomes 6. So we can write this as 6 into 10 power 5. Both the options A and B are correct, because 0.6 into 10 power 6 and 6 into 10 power 5 are same. So both the options are correct. Next we'll move on to the 12th question. When a light of frequency 2 nu naught, where nu naught is the threshold frequency, is incident on a metallic plate, the maximum velocity of the electron emitted is V1. When the frequency of the incident light is increased to 5 V naught, the maximum velocity of the emitted electron from the same plate becomes V2. So the ratio of V1 by V2 is option A 1:2, option B 1:4, option C 4:1, option D 2:1. This is a competitive exam 2018 question. So the answer is option A 1:2. Let's see how the option A is correct. Here, when the light of frequency 2 nu naught, incident frequency is 2 nu naught, H, that is the E is equal to h nu, where the h nu value is given as 2 h nu naught. Instead of nu, we should substitute 2 nu naught, and that is changed to 5 nu naught in the second case. So these are the two data given. So write the equation. So the velocity becomes V1 and V2. So we can write, as we know the Einstein's photoelectric equation, E equals phi naught plus half mv square. So where is E is energy of incident photon, the phi naught is work function which we can write as h nu naught as we know plus half mv square. For the first case, E is equal to 2 nu naught. So it becomes 2 h nu naught is equal to h nu naught plus half mv1 square. Bring this h nu naught this side. This simplifies as h nu naught is equal to half mv1 square. And this is your equation 1. Now for the second case, the incident frequency is phi nu naught. So when you substitute, it becomes phi h nu naught, which is equal to nu naught plus half mv2 square. So here when you rearrange this, bring this h nu naught this side, this becomes 4 h nu naught, which is equal to half mv2 square. This is equation 2. Divide 1 by 2. So when you divide 1 by 2, you'll get half mv1 square by half mv2 square is equal to h nu naught by 4 h nu naught. So h nu naught gets cancelled. Here half m gets cancelled. So v1 square by v2 square is equal to 1 divided by 4. So when you take a square root on both sides, it results in v1 by v2 is 1 by 2. So the answer is 1:2, the option A. Next, move on to the next problem, the 13th one. The work function of a photosensitive material is 4 electron volt. The longest wavelength of light that can cause photon emission from the substance is approximately option A 3100 meter, option B 966 meter, option C 31 nanometer, option D 310 nanometer. Then this is a question from NEET 2019 Odisha paper. So the answer D 3100 nanometer is correct. So let's see how the answer D is correct. What is the data given in the question? The data given in the question is work function of the photosensitive material, which is 4 eV. Now what is the question? The longest wavelength of light. As we know, the work function is related to the wavelength by the relation phi naught is equal to h nu naught. So which I can write it as phi naught is equal to h nu minimum. So which I can write it as hc by lambda max. So here I write phi is equal to hc by lambda max, or lambda max equal to hc by phi naught. As we know, we are going to take in all the numericals the hc value as 12,400 Armstrong eV. To simplify, we substitute this hc as 12,400 eV Armstrong divided by the phi value is 4 eV. When you simplify, eV gets cancelled. So the answer is in Armstrong, which is 3100 Armstrong. When you divide 12,400 by 4, we get this answer. But here 3100 into 10 power minus 10, because Armstrong is equal to 10 power minus 10 meter. This option is not there. So rearrange this for a nanometer. We know nanometer is 10 power minus 9. So when you take out the 1 power, the 1 0 will go. So this becomes 310 into 10 power minus 9 meter. So which is 310 nanometer. So the option D is correct. Next, we'll move on to the next problem. The 14th problem. When a metallic surface is illuminated with a radiation of wavelength lambda, the stopping potential is V. If the same surface is illuminated with radiation of wavelength 2 lambda, the stopping potential is V by 4. There are threshold wavelengths for the metallic surfaces. The first option is 5 by 2 lambda, 3 lambda, 4 lambda and 5 lambda. This is NEET 2000 question. This question is from NEET 2016 paper. Now the answer is 3 lambda. Let's see how the answer is 3 lambda. According to Einstein's photoelectric equation, EV naught is equal to hc by lambda minus hc by lambda naught. Data given in this is, for a wavelength of lambda, the stopping potential is V. When the wavelength becomes 2 lambda, the stopping potential is V by 4. So we write the two equations based on these two cases. So the first case is for V naught, we write V. So EV equals hc by lambda minus hc by lambda naught, which is your first equation. Now let us write the second conditions. When the wavelength becomes 2 lambda, the stopping potential is V by 4. So we can write here EV by 4 equals hc by 2 lambda minus hc by lambda naught, which is equation 2. That is, in this equation, the EV value can be substituted from the equation 1. So in the equation 1, we have EV value. So take 1 by 4 out, substitute from the equation 1 the RHS of this equation 1. So which is hc by lambda minus hc by lambda naught equals hc by 2 lambda minus hc by lambda naught. Here when you remove the bracket, you will get hc by 4 lambda minus hc by 4 lambda naught equals hc by 2 lambda minus hc by lambda naught. When you rearrange this, bring all the lambda here, lambda naught to that side, then you will get hc by 4 lambda minus hc by 2 lambda equals hc by 4 lambda naught. This minus becomes plus here, minus hc by lambda naught. When you take an LCM and subtract, you will get minus hc by 4 lambda minus 3 hc by lambda. Minus and minus will get cancelled, hc also will get cancelled, 4 also gets cancelled, take the lambda that side. So lambda naught equals 3 lambda, 3 is there, so it is in the denominator. So lambda naught is equal to 3 lambda, so the answer is 3 lambda. Next we will move on to the next question. The 15th question. A photoelectric surface is illuminated successively by monochromatic light of wavelength lambda and lambda by 2. If the maximum kinetic energy of the emitted photoelectron in the second surface is 3 times in the first case, the work function of the surface of the metal is h Planck's constant, c is speed of light. This is a question from NEET 2015 paper. So A 2 hc by lambda, B hc by 3 lambda, C hc by 2 lambda, option D hc by lambda. Option C is the correct answer, C hc by 2 lambda. Let's see how the option C is correct. Now here what is the data given? The photoelectric surface is illuminated by light of wavelength lambda and lambda by 2 successively. First by lambda and then by lambda by 2. Here the kinetic energy of the second case is 3 times the kinetic energy of the first case. So first write the equation for this and then write kinetic energy maximum of 2 is equal to 3 times kinetic energy of 1. So let's go on to the problem. So according to Einstein's photoelectric equation, the first case kinetic energy maximum is equal to hc by lambda minus phi naught. For the second case, kinetic energy maximum 2 is equal to hc by lambda by 2, the wavelength is lambda by 2 minus phi naught. So take the 2 to the numerator, it becomes 2 hc by lambda minus phi naught, where the kinetic energy maximum 2 is equal to 3 times kinetic energy maximum 1 given in the question. So substitute this here. The kinetic energy maximum in the second is 2 hc by lambda minus phi naught. 3 times this value, the first case, hc by lambda minus phi naught. Now simplify this equation. 3 phi naught, this minus, when it comes this side it becomes plus, minus phi naught. So take this, that side it becomes minus. So when you subtract, it will become 3 phi naught minus phi naught is 2 phi naught. 3 hc by lambda minus hc by lambda is hc by lambda. So phi naught is equal to, bring the 2 this side, hc by 2 lambda. So the option C is the correct option. So hc by 2 lambda. Let's move on to the next problem, the 16th one. For a photoelectric emission from certain metal, the cutoff frequency is nu. If the frequency of radiation is 2 nu impinges on the metal plate, the maximum possible velocity of the emitted electron will be m electron mass. NEET 2013 paper. This question is from NEET 2013 paper. Option A is root of 2 h nu by m. Option B is 2 root of h nu by m. Option C is root of 2 nu by 2 m. Option D is root of 2 h nu by m. The answer is option A, root 2 h nu by m. As we know, the work function phi naught is equal to h nu. According to Einstein's photoelectric equation, we know half mv square is equal to h nu minus h nu naught, which is our equation we know. Here the cutoff frequency nu naught is given as nu, the incident frequency is given as 2 nu. So here we substitute h2 nu minus h nu. So this becomes half mv max square is equal to h nu, v max square is equal to 2 h nu by m. When you rearrange, you will get this. So v max equal to root of 2 h nu by m, which is option A is the correct option. Next we will move on to the question number 17. This is light of 2 different frequencies whose photons have energies 1 electron volt and 2.5 electron volt respectively illuminate a metallic surface whose work function is 0.5 electron volt successively. The ratio of maximum speeds of emitted electrons will be option A 1:4, option B 1:2, option C 1:1, option D 1:5. Answer is option B 1:2. According to photoelectric equation, kinetic energy maximum is equal to E minus phi naught. Here the kinetic energies, 2 different kinetic energies are given, but the work function is same. So from this we can calculate two different photon energies are given. Incident photons have two different energies, 1 eV and 2.5 eV, whereas the work function is same for both 0.5. So the kinetic energy maximum of the first case is equal to 1 eV minus 0.5, which is equal to 0.5 electron volt. Kinetic energy maximum 2 is equal to 2.5 minus 0.5, which is 2 eV. Now divide 1 by equation 1 by 2, kinetic energy maximum 1 by kinetic energy maximum 2 is equal to half mv1 max square by half mv2 max square, which is equal to 0.5 by 2. So which is v1 square by v2 square is 1 by 4. When you take a square root, v1 by v2 is 1 by 2. So the next question, the work function for a metal A, B and C are 1.9 electron volt, 2 electron volt, 5 electron volt respectively. The metal which will emit photoelectron for a radiation of wavelength 4100 Armstrong is option A only, option B both A and B, option C all this, option D none. Here we should know when the work function is, the energy of the incident photon is greater than the work function, then the metal will emit. If it is less, the energy of incident photon is less than the work function of the metal, then it will not emit. So we should know what is the energy of the incident photon in terms of electron volt. So let's calculate the energy of the incident photon in terms of electron volt. Energy of incident photon is hc by lambda. As we know, the hc is 12,400 eV Armstrong. So 12,400 eV Armstrong by 4,100 Armstrong. Armstrong gets cancelled. So we get 3.02 eV, as eV is the unit. So the energy of incident photon is 3.02 eV, where the metal A and B have a work functions lesser than this energy of incident photon. As the energy of incident photon is greater than the work function of metal A and B, the energy of incident photon is greater, but the work functions are less, energy is more. So both A and B only will emit. C will not emit as its work function is more than the energy of incident photon. So C will not emit. The option B is correct, which is both A and B. Next we'll move on to the question number 19. In photoelectric emission, a radiation whose frequency is 4 times the threshold frequency of a certain metal is incident on the metal, then the maximum possible velocity of the emitted electron will be option A root h nu naught by m, option B root 6 h nu naught by m, option C 2 root h nu naught by m, option D root h nu naught by 2m. Answer is B root 6 h nu naught by m. As we know, according to Einstein's photoelectric equation, h nu is equal to h nu naught plus half mv max square. It is given the energy of incident photon is 4 times the threshold frequency, that is nu is equal to 4 nu naught. So substitute for nu as a 4 nu naught. You will get h 4 nu naught is equal to minus h nu naught. We can bring this h nu naught here. Minus h nu naught is equal to half mv max square. So 3 h nu naught is equal to half mv max square. When you rearrange this, we will get v max square is equal to 6 h nu naught by m. V is root of, V max is root of 6 h nu naught by m. So the option B is the correct answer. Next we will move on to the next question. A light of wavelength 500 nanometer is incident on a photosensitive photoelectric work function of 1.235 electron volt. The kinetic energy of the photoelectron emitted is B. Option A 0.58 electron volt, option B 2.4 electron volt, option C 1.24 electron volt, option D 1.19 electron volt. Answer option C 1.24 eV. Let's see how the answer is C. According to Einstein's photoelectric equation, given data is lambda is equal to 500 nanometer, so which can be converted into Armstrong as 5000 Armstrong. H nu naught is equal to phi naught is equal to 1.235, which is given in the question. So now K is equal to Hc by lambda minus phi naught. As we know, Hc is, we substitute for Hc as 12,400 Armstrong eV by lambda minus phi naught. So 12,400 eV Armstrong by 5,000 Armstrong minus work function 1.235 eV. When you simplify this, this gives you 2.48 electron volt minus 1.235 eV, which is equal to 1.245 eV. When you subtract this, you will get this answer. The option C is the correct answer. Next, we will move on to the question number 21. The threshold wavelength for a metal surface where photoelectric work function is 3.313 eV is option A 4125 Armstrong, option B 3750 Armstrong, option C 6000 Armstrong, option D 2062.5 Armstrong. The answer is B 3750 Armstrong. Let's see how the option B is correct. As we know, the work function is equal to hc by lambda naught, whereas lambda naught is called threshold wavelength or maximum wavelength. So the lambda naught is equal to hc by phi naught. As we all know, hc is equal to 12,400 eV Armstrong. When you substitute this 12,400 eV Armstrong by the work function which is given in the question, 3.313 eV. eV and eV will get cancelled. When you simplify this, it results in 3750 Armstrong. So the answer B is correct. Answer is option B 3750 Armstrong. Next question is, photon of wavelength lambda are incident on a metal. The most energetic electrons are ejected from the metal or bent into a circular arc of radius r by perpendicular magnetic field having magnitude B. The work function of the metal is A, option A, hc by lambda minus me plus e square b square r square by 2 me. Option B, lambda plus 2 me bracket eb r divided by 2 me the whole square. Option C, hc by lambda minus me c square minus e square b square r square by 2 me. Option D, hc by lambda minus 2 me bracket eb r by 2 me the whole square. The option D is the correct option. Let's see how the option D is the correct option. So hc by lambda minus 2 me eb r by 2 me the whole square. According to Einstein's photoelectric equation, we know half mv square is equal to hc by lambda minus 5. Here we need the value of, that is V. That is how to calculate from this data given in this. Here the data given is the ejected, most energetic electrons ejected from the metal are bent into a circular arc of radius r by perpendicular magnetic field. Whenever you get perpendicular magnetic field in an arc of circle, then we should remember the magnetic Lorentz force. That is the magnetic, according to magnetic Lorentz force, F is equal to BQV, which is equal to BEV. According to centripetal force, we know centripetal force is given by the formula F is equal to mv square by r. These two forces should be in equilibrium. Under equilibrium, we can equate this two. So when you equate mv square by r is equal to BEV, we get V is equal to BER. That is, so substitute this V in the equation 1. So now when you substitute, you'll get 1 by 2 m BER by m the whole square equals hc by lambda minus 5, or phi equals hc by lambda minus 2 me bracket b square e square r square by 4 me square. Here only 2 is there. So we are making this as multiply in the numerator by 4, then it becomes 2 in the numerator. So here in the denominator we bring 4 me square. That is because here half is there, but this becomes 2 in the numerator. In the squares we are bringing this. So this becomes 4 me square here. So this becomes 2 me the whole square. To get the form what is given in the question, so we should rearrange this according to the question. Options given in the question you should see and try to rearrange. So phi is equal to hc by lambda 2 me bracket be by 2 me the whole square, which is option D is the correct option. Students, we have seen now few problems which will cover all the concepts related to the photoelectric effect, Einstein's photoelectric equation. And here, whenever we do the Einstein's photoelectric equation, we'll just recall in this class, whenever you do the Einstein's photoelectric equation, you should remember the two concepts. One, the frequency, threshold frequency is the minimum frequency. The energy of incident photon should be greater than the threshold frequency for the photoelectric emission to take place. That is the one concept you should remember. The second one, threshold wavelength, that is maximum wavelength for which the photoelectric emission takes place is called threshold wavelength. So the energy of the incident wavelength should be equal to that or lesser than that of the given wavelength lambda naught for the photoelectric emission to take place. The next point is, wherever you get numericals, we have used hc is equal to 12,400 eV Armstrong. It is easy to solve, that's why we have used. And also remember, c is equal to nu lambda. So h nu is equal to hc by lambda. So when the frequency is minimum, lambda is maximum. That's why we say threshold frequency is lesser value, threshold wavelength is maximum wavelength. And if you take the kinetic energy, that is the first, when you see the laws, that is just we are recalling the concept. See, intensity means number of photoelectrons emitted per second. When the intensity is more, the number of photoelectrons emitted will be more and the current will be more. So intensity is related to the number of photoelectrons, which has nothing to do with kinetic energy. So when the number of photoelectron increases, the current will increase, the saturation current will increase, but the stopping potential will not change. So the kinetic energy will not change. So remember the concept, the kinetic energy is independent of intensity of radiation. It depends only on the frequency. So if you talk about the intensity, when you talk about the intensity, the bright light has more intense than the dim light we saw. So the intensity of the light can be varied by changing the distance between the photocell and the observed point. So when you move away from the source, the brightness will decrease. So the intensity is proportional to the number of electrons. These are the points you should remember to do the sums which we did here. So when you prepare for your NEET exam, please concentrate on your concepts and important formulas to be revised, and that is learning the experimental things for the theory exam as you prepare. So here you will have application based questions in the NEET exam. So understand the concepts and revise the formulas. Prepare a study material, that is for a quick review for all the topics, so that on the day before exam you can just go through the important formulas to do the NEET exam well. Practice the previous year NEET papers. Try to solve all the previous NEET papers and also solve the papers in a stipulated time. So that is more important. Knowledge is of no use when you don't put into practice. So please do as many papers as possible in the available time to score good marks. I think you all will do well. All the very best. Thank you.
இந்நிகழ்ச்சியை பற்றிய தங்களின் மேலான கருத்துக்களை கீழ்க்கண்ட முகவரிக்கு கடிதம் மூலமாகவோ மின்னஞ்சல் மூலமாகவோ குறுஞ்செய்தி மூலமாகவோ தெரியப்படுத்தலாம். அனுப்ப வேண்டிய முகவரி: சிறப்பு அலுவலர், கல்வி தொலைக்காட்சி, 8ஆம் தளம், அண்ணா நூற்றாண்டு நூலகம், காந்தி மண்டப சாலை, கோட்டூர்புரம், சென்னை 6085. தொலைபேசி எண் 7824015000.